Good morning, friends. Merry Christmas Eve. Today is Vlogmas day 23, and I promised you all and I promised myself that I would get to have a Christmas cookie baking marathon, and today is finally that day. As you will have seen in the last clip, Jordan and I got to have a little bit of coffee date this morning. He is working late tonight, so on those days, we try to get some time together in the morning, but we're not always perfect at it. So anyway, I just got the butter out. I need to get the eggs out to let those come to room temperature. And before I start baking, it's a little bit of a mess in here, as you can probably imagine, because it's been a couple of days since I've tidied. And so I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of a Zen moment to reorganize and put away all the clutter that's out on the island and the kitchen table, and possibly reorganize the refrigerator because the pre-Christmas or pre-holiday fridge is stuffed like nobody's business. So, and we definitely are gonna need to chill some cookies later. So I need to make room for that while the eggs and butter are coming to temp. But I hope you join me for this baking bonanza. And yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas Eve and you're getting so excited for Christmas. And let's get tidying and then cooking. So as you just saw me doing, I kind of set up cookie stations for today's baking endeavor just to make it a little bit easier on myself. So over here in this corner of the island, we have our dry ingredients: flour, spices, leaveners. This bottle of vanilla extract is actually extra, so maybe I won't be needing it, maybe I will. And then cocoa powder for the chocolate cookies. We have our scale, which is very important in baking. And then over here are our wet ingredients. I still need to get out the granulated and brown sugar, but we have butter, eggs, powdered sugar, and then these are the other wet ingredients that go in later: molasses, all of our extracts. I have almond, peppermint, and vanilla, and then food coloring if we need it. And then lastly, we have chocolate chips. I do have a variety of chocolate chips and bar chocolate that I chop up because depending on the application, I feel like one is better suited than the other. Then over here we have our dipping station. We're going to make dipped pretzels and Ritz. So I have some white melting wafers and dark chocolate. I think we're gonna do peppermint extract in the white chocolate and then just keep the dark chocolate. So we're gonna get these done first, so that'll be an easy win. Hello friends, I just got done eating some lunch and I'm gonna show you the progress that I've made so far. All right, so we have our pretzels that I dipped in the white chocolate with peppermint extract. And then we also have, I don't know why I keep wanting to call them Reese's. Obviously they're not. We have the Ritz that I dipped in dark chocolate. I did not put peppermint extract in these. I just left them plain. Now I am moving on to the actual baking. I'm gonna preheat the oven and I'm gonna start with some shortbread thumbprints. I've never made these before, but I also, while I was in the midst of doing this, I also made some more homemade cranberry sauce. So that's what I'm gonna use instead of jelly in the middle of these, and I think they're gonna be really delicious. I also have one of my favorite movies, The Santa Claus 2, going, so getting in the festive spirit. All right, these are done and out of the oven. They smell really good and they look really good. I did realize after I put them in the oven that I was supposed to roll them in sugar after I rolled them into a ball, but oh well, it'll be fine. Once they fully cool, I'm gonna leave them on the cookie sheet to cool for a few minutes, and once they fully cool, I will try them because I don't want to serve anything to people that I haven't made sure is delicious. But we are gonna move on to our next thing, which I think is baking a pan of brownies, and we're just gonna make them plain. I ended up just tossing those peppermint brownie bites that I made the other night because they just weren't good. So I didn't want to serve them. But anyway, so we're gonna get that in the oven, and then I'll come back when I'm making my next batch of cookies because I'm just throwing together a box of brownie mix. So yeah, see you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Yes, my kitchen is a disaster, but that's what happens on baking day. Okay, we are moving on to our next recipe. We are going to make ginger molasses cookies. I've already kind of started a little bit. I am creaming the butter and sugar together. This recipe is from Sally's Baking Addiction, and I know I've been bad about this, but I will actually link the recipes in the description box. I just finished scooping the ginger molasses cookies, and now I'm gonna put them in the fridge. They have to chill for about an hour before I roll them in sugar and bake them. Probably 3/4 of the way through our baking day now, and as you saw, I just sugared the ginger molasses cookies. So I'm going to transfer some of those to this baking dish or cookie sheet that I have back here and get those in the oven. These take about 15-ish minutes to bake, so they're relatively quick. We are on our third and final batch of cookies for the day. So I just have my butter and sugar in my KitchenAid, so I'm about to get that creamy. Friends, it is many hours later, 4 Christmas movies later, and we are just about done with our baking day. My timer might go off because I still have one of my last batches of cookies in the oven, but I wanted to give you a little tour of what all we did together today. So as you can see, these boxes are not quite full yet, but this is the box that I picked out from Hobby Lobby the other day. But these are the chocolate covered Ritz crackers. And we have our white chocolate peppermint pretzels, our cranberry sourdough thumbprints, and then we have our ginger sparkle cookies, our ginger molasses cookies there. I also did make these brownies, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to fully cut them. They're not entirely cool yet. And then the last thing I baked are just a batch of regular My Good Old Chocolate Chip cookies. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. It was a pleasure to have you along. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm so glad we got to do our finally got to do our baking marathon, even though it definitely looked different than I thought it would. I might make even more cookies tomorrow so that we have some when we have people over on Wednesday. But if I do, I will bring you along, and I hope you are having a wonderful Monday night and are really excited for Christmas Eve tomorrow. See you later.